I think it's time to finally share with you guys. Already starting to get things with my new last name. Over 500,000 people have seen Jacob and I's proposal video. So let's get into the nitty gritty. Jacob and I were in Seattle visiting my cousin and my sister, brother-in-law, and their kids. And on the last Saturday we were there, we were going into the city with my cousin and her husband. And yes, my female intuition started to send me little signals. Also that day, I had asked Jacob what he wanted me to wear, which seems like a normal thing. But the entire trip, I was asking him every single day, what should I wear? And every single day he was like, oh, whatever you want. But then on this specific day, he was like, oh, maybe wear that yellow like dress top thing. Oh my gosh, look at my ring. But that was a sign number one. So Jake and I meet my cousin and her husband into the city. We're walking around. We're taking so many pictures. So my cousin Emily and her husband is like a vintage film photographer, and he's taking all these photos of Jake and I. We're walking around the city, and then, oh hey. That is so funny. That's my roommate, Nicole. Okay, but back to what I was saying. We're walking around the city. We're taking so many pictures, and I'm thinking to myself, Jacob is gonna propose to me like sometime. He's such a romantic guy. He's gonna pull me aside by the water, give me a love poem. He's just that kind of guy. Very, very sentimental. And I was thinking that he was going to propose to me in private. Which y'all know how that ends. My cousin and her husband take us to Pike's Market, the iconic spot in Seattle. I have been there many, many times. For Jacob, this was his very first time there. Very first time there. So imagine planning the kind of proposal he did, not knowing like what it looks like at all. We're walking around, and then out of the corner of my eye, I see my sister and her family, and they told me that they were going to a retirement party that day. So I was like, oh my gosh, he's really gonna propose to me today. But then before I knew it, the guys working the fish market that throw the fish and they sing, they were getting a crowd together, like literally right next to us. So I thought nothing of it. I got into the crowd with Jacob. I have my phone out videoing the guys throwing the fish. Everything is good and great. Then the guys who are working this thing, they asked for somebody to volunteer from the crowd. And here's the thing. Jacob shooting his arm up, asking to be the volunteer, that is not unusual for that man. Every single sports game that we go to, he gets his face on the Jumbotron. Like, he is no stranger to volunteering or anything like that. Again, I thought absolutely nothing of it. I am videoing him with his phone that he handed me. And I'm thinking to myself, wow, what a cool video to have. Jacob catching a fish. So to say that I was surprised when the guys didn't throw him a fish, but threw him a ring box, and then Jacob turns to me, gets down on one knee, and the crowd starts erupting, that's an understatement. For 3 seconds, I stood there just like this. I had a moment, if you guys have ever seen Hunger Games and Katniss Everdeen, a big explosion goes off where she jumps into the water and loses her hearing. She gets that like ee sound. My hearing went out when he proposed to me. The crowd erupting like all around us. But Jacob just got down on one knee and said, will you marry me? No speech, no anything. He did it in a way I never in a million years thought he would do it, which was even better because I know that he was worried that he wouldn't surprise me. And the big kicker to all this is he turns to me, gets down on one knee, proposes to me. I blank, immediately just start crying because I'm like, what is even going on? He puts the ring on my finger, we kiss, we cry in front of everyone. Again, the big kicker is I didn't even say yes. I had no words. Obviously it was a yes. So immediately afterwards, I was like, oh my gosh, Jacob, I'm so sorry. I didn't even say yes. And he's like, it's okay. I knew it was a yes. And it was a yes. It was a yes, absolutely. So many strangers videoed us getting engaged, which was so sweet and so pure and just beautiful. And even afterwards, people were coming up to us saying, are you guys actors? Because everything just happened so smooth. There's no way that stuff like this still happens in real life, but it does happen, and it happened to me. But still to this day, I am so perplexed on how Jacob was able to pull that off. But afterwards, he told me that it definitely was with help from my sister and my cousin Emily. My cousin Emily did go to Pike's Market a few weeks before the engagement to just like talk to the guys, being like, hey, can we make this proposal happen? And at first, the Pike's Market guys were like, oh, that's kind of a liability, throwing a diamond ring across the counter. But then Emily literally told them the guy that's catching it is a catcher in baseball and he won't drop the ring. So that is how we got engaged. And yeah, I just can't believe that I never in a million years could have suspected Jacob proposing to me the way that he did, but that just makes it even more sweeter. So stay tuned for wedding planning and if I am moving to Tampa or staying in California. Getting proposed at Pike's Place Market in Seattle. Ain't getting a veto from